Hello there, I'm Dark Shades, and thank you to my subscribers. And if it's the first time you're passing through, you're welcome to subscribe, like, and share. I tend to talk about more recently relationships and how things that happen, we might not really understand what's going on behind the scenes and why they're happening. And sometimes we kind of get confused and think, is it me? Am I imagining things? Or what is it? So I like to throw a little bit of clarity out there, or maybe just raise it to the surface to give you food for thought so that you don't think you're going crazy and you can kind of look at it from another angle. Now, today I wanted to talk about why would a man show interest in you if he's not interested? Now, that might seem to be a very strange thing for a man to do. But sometimes a man can show interest in you just because you have shown interest in them. And some men can feel quite obligated to show you interest because if they're the type that doesn't want to insult you or hurt your feelings, they might just play along with it. So you'll have some men, especially where the woman has gone all out, declaring her love and declaring everything that she wants in a relationship and how she sees it going. And you can find the man kind of thinking, oh my goodness, I didn't really expect this. But, she's not a bad person. She seems okay. Maybe I'll just play along with it. I don't want to hurt her feelings. So they'll go on like they're interested when they're not really. And that happens quite a lot. It's not the man's fault. It's not the female's fault. It's just the fact that two people are not allowing each other to have that communication to say how they actually feel. Normally, it's quite clear. You'll find from the man's perspective, he's not going to be making any long-term plans. He's not going to be introducing you to his family. He's not going to be saying that you're his girlfriend. So normally you can tell, but you might overlook it because you're thinking, well, we go out together, we go out for meals. He calls me, I call him. It seems as though he's interested. If he wasn't interested, why would he call me? And so you're left with that kind of dilemma on the one hand where he seems like he's interested, but his behavior is a bit inconsistent. And sometimes I feel as though he's not interested. Sometimes when I call him, he's okay. Another time when I call him, I feel like an inconvenience. And so you can kind of get that kind of vibe that you feel that there's something that's not quite right, something that's not quite gelling. And so you're kind of wondering, is he interested or isn't he interested? Well, I'm just going to give you a few reasons why he might show you interest when he's not interested. And some of them could be quite selfish reasons. It might be just like he just wants to be around you. Maybe he likes your personality. He likes who you are. He likes talking to you. He likes spending some time with you. But on a serious level, you're not really who he wants. He's got visions of somebody else. He's got this kind of ideal in his head of who he wants to be more serious with. So, you're okay for the time being, maybe to boost his ego, maybe to let him feel as though, yes, he's still got it. And yes, so there's no skin off of his nose if he's treating you as though he's your boyfriend, even though you're not his girlfriend. There's no skin off of his nose. He can benefit. You don't mind it, or maybe you do mind it. Maybe you do want something a bit more serious, or you do want him to demonstrate something more serious. But you should be able to tell from his language, what is he saying about you and him? Is he talking about you and him in the future? If he's not, he's probably not that serious. He probably just wants to hang with you, and maybe he wants to get a little booty. Who knows? We don't know. And it all depends. Maybe you've given him a little booty. I wouldn't know. But regardless of whether you have or you haven't, knowing whether somebody's interested in you, you really have to watch the behavior. Okay, and like I said, they men are quite sensitive. They don't want, a lot of them don't want to be cruel unless they're really hurt and angry. So they don't really want to say, I'm not interested. I mean, if a woman declares her love and says, oh, you're the one, oh, I really love you and I want you in my life, I'm sure it's divine intervention, you're the man of my dreams. It's going to be very hard unless he's really cold and shallow for him to say, I don't think so. I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Nothing wrong with you or anything like that, but I'm simply not interested. So it would be very difficult for him to say that, because can you imagine how shattered you would be? But I think it would be better for him to say he's not interested than to waste your time, you thinking that there is something in it when there's not. Is he struggling to say the words? Yeah, sometimes, for men who have one foot in and one foot out, they're lacking commitment. They don't want to commit. They're quite happy with their free life. Not every man wants a woman. Some men just want friends, or some men just want somebody to talk to. Some men, they could be closet gays. We don't know. You can get some men who just like the company of women because they're closet gays. That is why it helps them. It helps them to know how to engage. They get the tips off of women. They know what makes a woman tick and all those kind of things. So sometimes it's as simple as a closet gay. It's got nothing to do with you. You don't need to take it personally. But it's just about having that clarity of whether or not he's interested in you. And if he is interested in you, to what degree, and is it going anywhere? Or is it just interested in your companionship? It's good because once you know, you can decide whether or not you're happy with that companionship, or if you want something more serious, you can find somebody else who can give you what you want. Is he pouring into you, or are you pouring into him? So you have to look at that. Are you the one doing all the pouring in? Are you emotionally investing in him and he's not emotionally investing in you? Just step back, take off the rose-coloured glasses and just check yourself, because you won't know if he's interested in you if you are the one doing all the giving and all the doing. Also, giving too much can scare a man off. A healthy man, it could scare them off. If you're doing too much and giving too much, they can kind of think, oh, what's she trying to do? Is she trying to buy me? Or is she, what's wrong with her? What kind of insecurities does she have? Why does she keep buying me all this stuff? What's she trying to prove? And it can create mistrust. So that's another reason why you need to step back and hold back and try to discern whether or not that person is interested in you. Because like I said, when you're always doing the giving and you're always emotionally investing, you can't really tell whether that person is interested in you. He might enjoy your company and could be attracted to you, but it doesn't mean he wants to commit to you. And he's unlikely to give you the title. You could have somebody like this as a friend for months. And when you ask them, what am I to you? They'll just laugh it off, or you won't hear, or, they might say it in jest in private, but when you go out, they don't announce it in public. So those are the kind of things you need to watch to see whether or not where his head is at. So if he rarely initiates contact, it means he's not serious. He may still like you, like I said. He might not just be ready to put the energy in to build a relationship. Some men, they don't mind all the pre-steps of a relationship, but they're not ready to kind of say, look, this is what I want. They're not even sure what they want. Sometimes people don't even know what they want. And that's not just men, it's women as well. But all I'm saying is that if you want to know if a man is interested in you, or if you want a man interested in you more than a friend, or more than sex with benefits, or a friend with benefits, you really need to establish that from the get-go. What am I? How do we go forward? What are our plans for the future? How do you see us moving forward? You need to ask those questions. Unless, of course, you don't really care which way it goes. You're just happy for the company and you're just riding it along until you find somebody that you want or somebody who's more compatible. Then, of course, you don't have to say anything at all. Some people don't mind that. You just ride with what they say, ride with the waves or ride with the tide. You can have those kind of relationships where somebody isn't interested in a commitment, and you can use that time just to get to know the person, develop a friendship. Meanwhile, you have your eye open for what will really satisfy you and what could be a more compatible relationship, someone who definitely shows interest in you if that's what you want. Okay, sometimes it's as simple as he doesn't want to let go. Not that he's interested in you, but he doesn't want to let you go. He doesn't want anybody else to have you. He wants an element of control over you. So sometimes it's as simple as that. When you no longer see something developing, there's no upward trajectory. It's just kind of stagnant. 1 minute you was all laughing and talking and involving each other in each other's lives, and then it kind of goes to a slump and it just goes stagnant and there's no more of that. You can ask yourself, well, maybe it's run its course. And sometimes that's the thing with relationships. If you spend a long enough time with somebody, you can actually see whether or not you're really compatible or whether it's just that moment. And that's why trying to get over the infatuation stage is so important, because during the infatuation stage, you can imagine that you are compatible with somebody. And you can imagine that, the relationship is perfect for you. But the longer you hang out, the more you might find, well, no, maybe not. Maybe this isn't what I thought. Maybe this isn't what I want. And so, that is what the man, it can think as well. Initially, the man could think, oh, this is the perfect woman for me. And then as time passes, he can think, no, I'm not too sure. I don't think this is for me. No. We haven't got enough in common. We haven't got the same morals or the values and that kind of thing. And so they can feel, okay, I like her, good company, but I don't want to take it to the next level. So is he integrating you into his world? Sometimes, is he involving you in what he's doing, people he's seeing? That kind of thing. And that depends on how long you've been with him. If you've been with him like between 3 and 6 months, you should have started meeting his family and friends. And if that's not happening, you can kind of think, well, maybe he's not interested. Some people, they make all kinds of excuses why you don't meet their family and friends. And when you don't meet their family and friends, it does mean they're not really interested, because in the back of their head, they know that they want to introduce their family and friends to the right woman. They don't want to introduce this person to somebody who they do not see in the long term. So you have to bear that in mind when he's going to see his parents, or he's going to see his members of his family, or they're having a big family get together and you're not invited. You have to think, okay. You don't have to take it personally. It just means, it just can give, help you to step back and say, okay, I understand. This is my place. This is my place in his life. I need to invest my emotions elsewhere. What else? And you can't be waiting for him to do the right thing. Some people, they're put on the back burner. They're left to wait, and then they're kind of waiting for it to change. Sometimes it hasn't changed. 1, 2, 3 years down the line, nothing's changed, and you've wasted 2, 3 years of your life. You don't need to be doing that. The signs are always there about relationships, where it's going, where it's heading. You don't have to wait until the last minute before, it's really kind of run you to the ground, before you say, oh no, he's not interested in me. You don't have to wait that long. He's not serious does not mean he does not like you. Right now, he's just not interested. Don't lash out. Don't get angry. Don't take it personally. You can step back or step out. Like desire is not enough. He needs to make consistent effort to show that he cares about you. So, and that's all. It's kind of short and sweet, but I hope it answers your questions. Whether or not a man is interested in you, more than just a friend. And that's all for now. Bye-bye.